Hello everyone, Hazuki here. So for my $100 of Connors, I decided to spend them at Balboa Park, specifically at the Japanese Friendship Garden and the Museum of Us. But since there's a few things to check out on the way there for free, I decided to stop by. For example, the Botanical Garden. It's one of the most photographed places at the park, and entry is free. So on the way I saw a couple of ducks, even a little turtle. On the inside, it was absolutely gorgeous, lush green, a couple of fountains, and even something that looked like a Kingdom Hearts door from how big it was. But the view in there was honestly stunning, especially with the sun shining through. From there, I decided to visit the Timken Museum, which is free. They have an agreement, the founders of it have an agreement that entry should be free, but I was unlucky and unfortunately it was closed for an exhibition being added. During November and December, the Old Globe, a theater at the park, has the Grinch shows, so they have every year a big tree decorated in Dr. Seuss style. Right, so Museum of Us. So after visiting the tree, I headed to the Museum of Us, our first stop. I paid for the entry, and one other thing here, and I actually didn't know this, but it is attached to the exhibit of cannibals, so I was pretty excited for that. I actually haven't been here in a while, so there were quite a few exhibits I hadn't seen before, such as this one where people wrote secrets. I decided to omit a lot of it, but I did leave one funny one in the clip because a lot of these things were personal. So after a brief break, I headed to the cannibals section right across the street, and immediately I'm greeted with a wall of cannibals on TV shows and films, and oh, would you look at that, Connor's favorite. But the exhibit was very interesting, and it showed the reasons why people do cannibalism, how sometimes they have to in order to survive. There were a lot of activities you could do throughout the museum that were actually kind of fun, like this huge operation table, and one in particular was this one for any symptoms that you have, so I decided to do them for you, Connor. I did struggle with one of them until for some reason, I don't know why, I didn't realize that I should place you in clumsy because of, the whole choking thing. But don't worry, Connor, I got you. So your prescription is mommy dust. I don't know where you're gonna get it, but you should, according to this. Having scheduled something back at the Museum of Us, I decided to head back there and leave the cannibals behind. Goodbye, cannibals. As you can see on the screen, there are cameras up on the California Tower for us to, see the beautiful views. But I wanted more. I wanted to see the view for myself. So up the 151 steps I went. It was actually not that bad. There were breaks in between, and we got to learn history about the park and the tower. And 4 levels up, I got to see this breathtaking view. Before going into the Japanese Friendship Garden, I wanted to make a quick stop to the largest outdoor organ, or well, at least the stage of it, since it was closed. But there is a promise here at the Spreckles organ that there must be a show that is free every Sunday, otherwise it does get taken back. Now, for the last stop, the Japanese Friendship Garden. What I decided to spend most of the money on was on adopting a koi. So you adopt a koi for 6 months, you get a letter bi-monthly, a plushie, and you get to name the koi. So I named the koi Deal. I don't know, I thought it was a cute name for a fish. They had a bonsai garden with some of them being as old as 150 years, a lot of really cool statues. And honestly, it's just a very scenic, beautiful, peaceful place to just sit down and take a break. I was running out of time and I needed to head to my scheduled koi feeding. So in the gift shop I go, get my koi kibble? I don't know what to call it. Fed some kois. It was a lot of fun. Just seeing them all rush for the food, I felt a little bit bad. And just enjoyed the scenery. It was honestly all very peaceful and beautiful, and there were some really nice hidden crevices that I just sat there and took nature in. And before I knew it, my wonderful day at Balboa Park was over. Thank you again, Connor, so much for the opportunity. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys did as well. Take care. Bye!